I'm Paula,
I'm Greg
contest
from
winner.
RJK Construction. Congratulations
Thank
on winning.
you. Thank you.
I'm Rosemary.
I'm Greg.
Yeah, so happy to see you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Stroyer. Stroyer, I'm Greg.
Nitpicking Nana.
Nitpicking Nana as well.
So glad to see you here.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
We're very excited, I gotta tell you.
Well, what we're going to do now is kind of take a look around the house and get a feel for what you'd like to do to it.
Okay, that sounds delightful.
So Paula,
Yes.
tell me a little bit about what you had in mind.
The porch is rotting. The roof is sagging. Siding is blowing off.
Yeah, I see that.
So I couldn't be more happy to have won the CertainTeed Makeover. What I envisioned for the home is a complete makeover.
Well, that's what we're here for, and you're lucky to know we're going to be using CertainTeed products because they are ideal for this application.
Right.
I mean, this is a century home, right? It turned 100 years old last year?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, you know, one of the main items that I'd like to incorporate is going to be the restoration millwork trim. Places we could use that would be around the windows, around the doors.
Great. And gable trim, that kind of stuff
Yeah,
as well, right?
we could make a pediment, which is a design. We can make any kind of design you want with the restoration millwork.
That's amazing.
And then as far as siding, I think I heard you mention cedar impressions,
Cedar
right?
impressions. We like the idea
cedar
that it's very
impressions.
cottagey looking.
Well, we are now on the infamous front porch.
The fact that all 5 of us are up here and haven't fallen through, I think is great, because if you come over here and you see how, I mean, it's like a trampoline.
Yeah,
You can,
Careful, Ma.
yeah. I am afraid of that, and I think the mailman every day jeopardizes his life coming here.
I don't know. I think it's put together pretty well. I mean, here's a piece we could just pull right off.
I know.
So obviously it needs a little bit of work.
Watch the cats down there.
Okay. So we did actually do a pretty thorough inspection of the front porch, and we have noticed that the foundation is structurally sound. The top sill plate is rotted, so what that's going to involve is us jacking it up to replace the posts. Okay. And normally what we would do is support it with 2x4s on blocking in the yard, but based on your beautiful landscaping, we've devised a method of actually supporting the porch itself on the existing foundation, replacing a post at a time. So that's going to minimize the inconvenience and the impact while we're here on the front yard.
Thank you. That's why you're a green contractor.
That's right, that's right. And we will, of course, be installing the ever new posts, which you're never going to have to paint again.
It's great.
It's going to be nearly maintenance-free.
Thank you.
And then we're also going to be removing the existing sidewalls.
It's going to be beautiful.
I know you want cedar impressions on the front, but we could also carry some of that cedar impressions around the side of the house above that freeze board.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then below that, we could use the CertainTeed monogram.
Excellent.
And then the restoration millwork around the windows.
Okay.
And since we don't have that dormer on this side, I think what would be a really nice finishing touch would be some restoration millwork crown molding on all the windows.
That'll
Does
make
that
it
sound
pop.
like a good idea?
Yeah.
One of the great things about CertainTeed is that they make products that work for the entire building envelope. And that ties into the siding as well, because what we're going to be doing is tightening the building envelope. And we're going to be doing that before we install the siding with the CertainTeed CertaWrap.
I've seen that product, yeah.
And the CertaWrap is actually what goes on over the existing substrate before we install the siding.
Yeah.
And what that does is that is a barrier, because vinyl siding is a water barrier, but it's not weather tight, so it does have the ability to let water behind it.
Yeah.
Also around all the doors and windows, we're going to have to be installing the CertaFlasher as well.
Okay.
That's another component that CertainTeed makes that makes the building envelope so tight and water-free. Thanks a lot for letting me step into the flower bed for a moment here, but this is a great opportunity
It's good.
for us to actually get to see what the siding might look on the house. And before I put it up there, I just wanted to talk about how wonderful the CertainTeed siding is with its true texture technology. It really has the look and feel of wood without any of the maintenance or painting needs.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is throw the CertainTeed monogram on, and being on this side of the house now really reinforces the idea of putting the CertainTeed monogram as the body, and then putting the CertainTeed cedar impressions as the accent. And that's going to look really sharp.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
with
nice.
that dormer right there.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Boy, it really pops the grain. The
It
wood
does,
grain.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The two together are going to be beautiful. Now that you're not stuck with these colors, you know,
Right.
We haven't even gotten into any of
Yeah.
that yet, so that's another fun thing we're going to do.
Yes.
But since we're talking about different products, and we can actually see the soffit over here now because of the curved overhang on the other side, we didn't have the ability to see it. But now you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Right.
Yes.
Those old dirty aluminum panels.
Yes.
Well, this is a perfect opportunity to show you Invisivent. Invisivent is the solid panel that is actually vented in the grooves, and you can't see it until we go like that.
Yes.
So that's how we're going to get our intake.
Wonderful.
And that's an important piece of the ventilation.
Yep.
I also want to talk about a possible accent called a super corner.
I like
Now-
the name of the super corner.
The benefit, there's multiple benefits of super corner, but one of the main is that it comes in 20-foot lengths. So what that's going to allow us to do is not have any seams the entire run of the corners.
Nice.
It's also a much wider profile, so it's going to give you a much more dramatic look. And it's going to be a nice transition when we go from the shake to the
Yeah.
monogram. There's not going to be any issue there.
That little curve in the corner is beautiful too.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I have an idea for that we'll talk about later.
Is that always white?
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
That's
All
a
right.
secret for right now.
That's surprise us.
And then we might as well also take a look at a shingle. This is actually the CertainTeed Landmark Pro Weathered Wood Maximum Definition.
Nice.
As you can see, it has a very, very strong variegation between colors.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to actually hold it on the angle of the roof so you can get a feel for what it might look like.
Right.
Boy, and a nice selection of colors again. Wow.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's another thing that we'll do when we play with some of the computer applications.
Yeah.
Forgive me if I seem a little nervous up here, ladies, but after being on the front porch and seeing what's going on there, you know, I am a little leery. But obviously, we're staying on the porch now because it is a major accent or living space of the home, and we want to update it. And there's a number of different products that CertainTeed has available to do that. So what I'd first like to talk about is the decking. And the two that we're going to talk about today is the Evernew LT and the Evernew PT. Okay. One is a cellular PVC, and the other is completely composite with a special coating on the exterior of it. Now the nice thing about
Look at
these
the contrast.
Yeah.
is, well, one, that they're not old rotted wood. So
Right.
that when we install them, we're going to install them with what's called a hidden fastener system. So you're not going to have any fasteners penetrating through the face of the deck board. We're going to be looking at the CertainTeed Evernew railing lines. There's a couple of different options that we're going to explore more in depth when we go inside the house. And speaking of other items on the porch that need to be addressed, as I'm leaning on this, I noticed that it has, you know, maybe 10, 20 coats of paint on it, so it looks like it's a never-ending maintenance issue.
Yeah.
And it's also needed for support. So what we're going to suggest doing here is the CertainTeed Evernew columns.
Nice.
They actually have an aluminum insert that slides inside that you would never know was there.
Oh, wow.
But that's what allows them to meet code and be load-bearing. And the last finishing touch on the porch, my personal favorite, beaded 222. Beaded 222-inch soffit. Is going to be installed just like all the other soffits.
Yeah,
It's going to
look
go up like
nice.
this. It's meant to look like a beadboard.
Beautiful.
It installs seamlessly, so you will not see any grooves or seams or overlap in the panel.
Yeah.
It looks sharp, just the sample.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Too.
I had a little time to walk around the garage and kind of assess what's going on here. I also stopped to take a look at some of the beautiful flowers you have planted all around it.
Thank you.
I noticed that it mostly consists of cinder block and then plywood gable tops. And it looks like you guys did a pretty good job with what you had to work with so far.
We have done the best that someone could do with cinder block and plywood, but know that CertainTeed can make it magical.
Absolutely. What did you have in mind product-wise? Were you thinking about similar to the house?
We'd like the monogram on the bottom and the cedar impression shakes on the top. Kind of tie in what's happening with the house to the garage and
That would be.
yeah, make it cohesive.
And then maybe some kind of design with the restoration millwork?
Would love it.
Well, you know they can do anything under the sun, no pun
Something
intended.
fancy schmancy. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be our garage, brought to you by CertainTeed.
Very nice.
Hi, I'm Ernie from Austintown Fence Company.
Paula,
Pleased to
CertainTeed
meet
winner.
you.
This is my mother, Marilyn.
Hi,
Rose,
Ernie.
how are you today?
Good. Nice to meet you.
You too. Congratulations on the wonderful makeover you won from
Thank
CertainTeed.
you. It's been wonderful. CertainTeed products. It's getting better because I saw when you pulled in, you're a 5-star contractor.
Yes.
Ah, that makes me happy.
I know you're looking for a new fence.
New
and
fence,
Buff
yes,
Tech's
sir.
got the best there is out there.
I've heard
Here's
wonderful
a brochure.
things. Thank
And
you.
if you'd like, we'll step over and you show us what you want to do.
All
and
right.
We'll go through it.
Absolutely.
Sounds
Thank you.
good.
What I was hoping for is to run the fence along the property line here, about 6 feet off the driveway.
Which would put us right on this side of the shrubs then?
Right, yep.
Okay.
And then the dilemma is there's this beautiful lilac bush that blooms in the spring, and going around that.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me take a look at that and see if,
Yep.
if that's going to round it through there. Well, we got enough room that maybe we could come up to it.
Okay.
And if possibly we might be able to go on the inside of it so there wouldn't be no harm to it. If not, we can take your buff tech fence and we can stop it right in here and pick it up again on the other side. Buff tech makes the quality that you can do all that with all the end posts and everything. There's not a problem with it. And whatever style you decide to go with,
Okay.
it can all be trimmed down to fit.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you said that because there's 3 more big trees as we walk down this line.
That don't make an installer's day. It's going along to do there.
Yeah.
But, you know, they have every kind of a way to get a fence up. If you get where you cannot put a post big enough, they have what they call easy brackets that you can mount onto. You can take, and if you had to get into roots and stuff, put a
Okay.
steel post down through there and set that steel post in, and then you can put your easy brackets on that CertainTeed makes, and you can slide your post down over it. So, I mean, there's ways of getting around it. They've come up with everything you can think of.
They sure
The
do.
Buff Tech makes a wonderful product out there.
Well, thank you.
I'm excited.
Boy, beautiful, safe, and functional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Everything.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.